Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome once again to the Sacred Man Experience podcast. I am your host, Imran Muhammad. Here we speak about the journey of manhood through the lens of faith, how to be strong but also soft, how to lead but also to listen. Today's episode is titled The Midlife Awakening, Shifting from Growth to Contribution. The second mountain. I want to speak to you who has reached his 40s or 50s. You've spent the first half of your life climbing. You've conquered the first mountain, the mountain of success. You've built the business. You've raised the family. You've secured the status. But now that you're at the top, you're looking out and asking, is this it? There is a restlessness that hits a man in midlife. The world calls it crisis, but in the Sacred Man experience, we call it an awakening. It is the moment your soul realizes that more is no longer enough. The drive that got you here, the drive to accumulate, is beginning to fade. And in its place is a hunger for something else, a hunger for meaning, a hunger for legacy. The Lord of the worlds, our Creator, Allah, the Almighty, says in His holy book, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم حتى إذا بلغ أشده وبلغ 40 سنة قال ربي أوزعني أو أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي. Until when he reaches maturity and reaches the age of 40 years, he says, my Lord, enable me to be grateful for your favor which you have bestowed upon me. Surah Al-Ahqaf, Surah number 46, verse number 15. Today, we discuss how to navigate this transition from being a consumer to becoming a contributor. Remapping the mission. In behavior psychology and in NLP, we call this value shift. In your 20s and 30s, your meta programs were likely toward moving toward status, towards wealth, towards power. But as you hit your midlife, the brain begins to recalibrate. If you try to keep running the accumulation program, you will experience psychological friction. This is where the depression or the burnout of midlife comes from. In coaching, we use a process called mission realignment. We look at your life through perceptual positions. Look back at the man you were 20 years ago. Now look forward to the man you will be at the age of 80. What does that 80-year-old man care about? He doesn't care about the quarterly profits of 2026. He cares about the echo he left in this world. We need to install a new internal anchor. We are moving from external validation, what the world thinks of you, to internal congruency, how well you align with your sacred purpose. We are going to reframing your success not as a destination, but as a platform for the second half of your life. The age of maturity. The sacred man understands that 40 is the age of prophethood. It is the age where the strength of the body meets the wisdom of the soul. The great scholar, the great polymath, Imam al-Ghazali, may God be pleased with him, famously left his prestigious position in Baghdad at the age of 38. He realized that his fame and his wealth were veils between him and Allah, the sacred essence itself. He spent years in seclusion, moving from the first mountain of academic fame to the second mountain of spiritual proximity. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim speaks of the stages of the travelers. He says that in the second half of life, the heart must move from talib al-dunya, seeking the world, to talib al-mawla, seeking the master. The Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, خير الناس من طال عمره وحسن عمله. The best of people is the one whose life is long and whose deeds are good. Imam Zahid al-Balkhi reminds us that purpose is the greatest medicine for the aging mind. Let me say that again to embed this. Purpose is the greatest medicine for the aging mind. If a man loses his sense of niyyah, intention, he begins to wither. But if he connects his success to sadaqah jariyah, ongoing charity, he becomes ageless. You are no longer just a businessman. You are a waqf, a living endowment for the ummah, for the nation, for the people, for the creation of Allah. Your role now is to be the shahid, the witness, under which the younger generation, inshallah, grows. The legacy blueprint. My brothers, it's time to pivot. Here is your sacred man protocol to achieve this shift within yourself. The legacy visualization. I want you, if you're driving, if you are doing some sort of activity of that kind, I don't want you to do this. But if you are sitting in a place where you are relaxed and you are not engaged in something heavy duty, I want you to close your eyes. Imagine your own funeral. Not in a morbid way, no, but in a sacred way. Who is there? What are they saying about your character? Not your bank account. Now, open your eyes. What one change do you need to make today to make that vision a reality? 2, the mentorship mandate. Find one younger man in your industry or community. Yes. Commit to 1 hour a month of pouring your wisdom, what you have learned, what you have gained, what you have achieved into him. This is generational transfer. It moves you from competitor to true elder. 3, for your protocol. The wealth of waqf, the shift. Look at your surplus wealth. Instead of buying another asset for yourself, start a project that solves the problem for humanity at large, and especially the ummah of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Become a social architect. Do that. And number 4, the zikr of gratitude. Every morning, recite, Rabbi awzidni an ashkura an ashkurani matak. The dua from Surah Al-Aqaf. This recenters your nervous system on abundance rather than more. You aren't getting older. You are getting closer. The first half of your life was about building the tool. The second half is about using it for the sake of the divine. You are a sacred man, and your greatest work is just beginning. In the next episode, we are going to talk about the inevitable, grief and the sacred man, how to process loss of parents, of friends, of dreams, whatever, losing your faith without losing your faith or your strength. Until then, live with meaning, give with joy, and remember, you are a sacred man. Till then, peace and blessing.